But what if I told you if you can slam your fist into a table, you can hit some great drives? It all comes down to the forearms and the right way to use those. What the pros are doing is they're keeping their forearms in this kind of an angle that I'm going to show you in a second. And what recreational golfers do too much, and I bet you felt the same thing, we've all been there before, is starting to stand up out of your posture and the forearms are coming in at more of this kind of an angle. All right, so let's jump right into it. Now, first I want you to get the feel of what the pros are doing. So the golf swing is really just this type of a motion. So the arms are swinging like this, and I'm simply just hinging in my posture and rotating as that's happening. So if we add hinging forward and rotation to this over-the-top type thing, that's all that's going on in the golf swing. Now, to do this correctly, the forearms have to be this way. And what I mean is the right forearm is way under the left forearm. And when I look at a lot of professional players, I'm seeing them keep the right forearm under the left forearm much later in the swing, twice as long as what recreational players are doing. So from here, you can see how this entire downswing, my right arm stays under my left arm. There's almost a little daylight that you can see through here as I'm making this swing. So if I pause at contact, my right arm is here and my right arm is not on top like that. So my right arm this way would be on top, my right arm under would be here. Now that slamming the fist into the desk, that's the motion that we're having, except when you're going on top with your right forearm, your fist would be slamming into your thigh, which is the wrong way. That would be coming over the top, getting steeper, standing up out of my posture. When my fist is more toward the target, that's the correct way. So I feel like imagine that I'm slamming my fist into the target this way rather than slamming my fist down like that. Now the great thing about this motion is that when you get rid of that slamming into your leg and start going more toward the target, look how that shallows the club out, and look how it's a pulling motion with the right hand, which means that you're going to have some lag versus a hitting or a throwing motion. So as soon as this hand starts to turn backwards this way, this forearm starts to go up. That's more of a hitting and throwing. That's it, standing up, losing your lag, versus keeping that cocked back, hammering the target. That's going to get it shallowed out from the inside, tons of lag, and a lot of club head speed. So what I want you to do here is make a couple practice swings where you go to the top of your swing, or go halfway back is fine, and then pause at impact or as late into the downswing as you can, feeling like the right forearm is way under the left forearm. Now as you go to impact, I still want the right forearm under the left forearm, as we can see here, but the trick is I want this face to be square to the target. I don't want you to have this face wide open or pointing out to the right like that. So that would be the incorrect way. Just go ahead and pause at impact, get the face square, and you'll notice how this sits you in the same position that all the pros are in. Nose behind the golf ball, weight shifted to the left, hips clearing out of the way, shoulders nice and square. That's where you want to be. So pause after doing that about 4 or 5 times, and then all I want you to do is just go ahead and hammer the back of the ball with the back of your forearms this way, and let's see what that goes. So it's that hammer fist type motion that allows you to pull versus push or throw. Let's give it a whirl. All right, there we go. Nice solid shot, 306 total, and a nice little draw on there. Now, the next thing with this is you're gonna be able to slot this club to the inside, shallow it out, have a lot of lag, keep that right forearm, kind of that hammer type motion underneath. That's gonna happen pretty easy. The last thing that you wanna do here though, is you don't wanna hold on to that. I'm not trying to do this as I'm coming through. The great thing about this is as I pull through, eventually, you're going to feel like you can't go anymore and your arms are naturally going to release out in front. So all I'm doing is keeping my elbows loose, I'm keeping my forearms loose, I'm pulling, and they're going to reach a point to where the right forearm can't stay under any longer, and the club's going to go ahead and release. I don't want to do this. I want to go ahead and let it fly, or let those forearms then roll over each other, or not really roll over as much as extend as I'm coming on through, and the club face will naturally start to square up. So I just don't want to drag it through. Keep the elbows soft, keep the arms soft, and go ahead and let that club feel like it's flying down the fairway almost as if you were going to let go of it, it would just shoot down the fairway after the golf ball. That's the tension-free type feeling that I want you to have. Now, this is really going to make it easy to get the correct feeling through impact. But to be honest, you can blow all that if you start down by rushing the start of your downswing. You see, a lot of players get this feeling that they're doing this in the downswing. And once that happens, all of a sudden the forearms are automatically pointing back toward my body instead of toward the target, like I talked about. And there's a motion that you can have here that's going to smooth all that out. And I want to share it with you. I'm going to play a preview of that video here in just 1 second. All you need to do to see the entire thing is go ahead and click one of the cards that pops up on your screen. I'm going to get rid of this ringing the bell, rushing the downswing that so many players are struggling with. Really smooth that out, and then what we just talked about here today will be even easier. So go ahead and click one of those cards. If you don't see the card, click the link down below in the description. Either place will get you instant access to that video, and let's go ahead and get started. Now the bottom line is that if you pull this club down to ring that bell or pull the hands more from the inside, what's going to happen is you start to rush your downswing from that pulling, and that can throw off your sequence. And we all know that once your sequence gets off, that is going to be the root cause of all your problems. Now, maybe you're being outdriven way too often, or you're terribly inconsistent with your strikes. Some of your shots are heavy, some of them are thin, some of them are off the toe, and then the next ones are way off the heel. Now you end up way over in the trees, you're in the tall grass, or maybe even the hazards all day long, and it really comes down to this. Clay, how in the heck do we fix it? Well, there's some good news. Well, there's only two things that you need to learn. First, you need to learn to shallow the club rather than pulling the hands down and getting the shaft in this steep position. You see, there's another way that the pros do this, and once you start to get that club on this shallower plane, more from the inside, then you pair that up with the right way to square the club face. And once you put these two things together, everything starts to fit in your swing. Now your buddies will start to get a little bit jealous because you'll start hitting solid, longer drives, time after time, and round after round. Now I'm going to teach you this right now on what I call the E-slot technique. Let's walk through exactly how to do it. So here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and take a swing to the top and get in a really good position. I want you to feel like your weight is mostly shifted to your right side and that your hips and shoulders are nice and free. I don't want to be locked up here. I want my knees to move, my hips to move. And that's going to allow me to swing my shoulders very nicely. Now, one thing that most people get wrong when they swing to the top is they don't get this tilt away from the target. So instead of being straight up and down or leaning to the left, I want to be slightly tilted away in what I call the stable fluid spine in my topspeed golf system. Okay, so now that you're at this great position at the top of the swing, what I want you to do is instead of pulling those arms straight down or ringing the bell, that's going to get the club shaft steep and get this elbow kind of flapping behind your body. I want you to do something very specific. I want you to take the tip of your elbow and move it in a specific way. Now, not this small bone on the inside of your elbow, but I want it to be right here at the tip, and here's what I want you to do.